going back to having not the amount of games that we had on TV. You know, we always had the game of the week, and then, you know, a handful of games throughout the season, never a home game on TV. And so one of the things that I always did, and I'm sure you guys may have done the same thing as a kid, on Sundays when we get the Sunday newspaper, is go find the St. Louis Post-Dispatch TV guide. And the first thing I would do was flip to the sports section to see if there were any Cardinal games on. Did you guys ever do that?
I did that basically the same way I handled the Sears catalog in the 80s, about Christmas time. It was the same thing. It was, man, you get that, and you just start circling stuff like, man, I can't wait for this game, or I can't wait for Sunday. And it was a special little thing that kids nowadays will never understand.
I thought you were going in a different direction with that Sears catalog thing.
No.
Cardinal Cowboy, did you do the same thing? Break out the TV, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, the local edition, and you know, see if there were any Cardinal games on?
Yeah, I always look to see the standings. How many games out were the Cardinals?
Yeah.
What was how many games did they need to win, or how many games were they up, as was most often during the 80s? And, you know, that's where I got into my math and stuff, and I started figuring, what's a game and a half mean? Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't understand what that means, but that means they've played either one more game than we have or one less game than we have.
Right.
And if it was head-to-head, then it'd be one game, and with the over total number of games played, how's a half game? And it's just the way unique way they kind of calculate baseball. But once you understood that, it came down to when there was 162 games played, somebody was either in first and somebody was in second. And on rare occasions, there was a head-to-head playoff game, and they kind of got a crazy, you know, the playoff system has changed quite a bit now since then. It used to be whoever won it, right? And originally there was two divisions, right? The American and the National, and they played in the World Series. Then they got into playoffs with the divisions, and now you've got wild cards. You know, it's pretty interesting to see. You either won it back then or you were out. That's kind of crazy.
There was one of the years, it was either 85 or 87, if I'm not mistaken. The Cardinals won 110 games that year. And that might have, I can't remember which of those 2 years it was. They won like 110 games. The Mets won right around 100. It might have been 99 games that they won, but did not even make the playoffs because there was no wild card that year.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just incredible. One of you mentioned Whitey Ball. I'm going to pull up some graphics. Here, you guys will be able to see what I am looking at. If you see that Whitey Ball graphic right there, you guys able to see that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then one more. Take me a moment to pull this up. Do it a little bit. Oh, here we go. The Cardinals Rat Pack.
Very cool.
They called Whitey Herzog the White Rat. So definitely some great memories with Whitey Herzog.
Yeah, Whitey Ball. I mean, Whitey was a genius when it came down to how you play to win, how you manage, how you took advantage of every opportunity to win a game. You know, it wasn't all about home runs and tons of runs scored. It was how did you sneak in a couple here and a couple there. I'm going to put you guys on my TV wall behind. So I've got you on my TV wall now, Mike.
All right. I've never been up on a TV wall before. I got to say that.
Well, you deserve it.
Hey, you know, and we're talking about all these different, you know, the amount of games that we have and everything. And of course, highlight shows every single night, you know, any highlight. And of course, we don't even need to turn on the TV to watch the highlights anymore. We can just, you know, go to the Cardinals app or the MLB app and watch them. But back in the day, there was a great show that was very important to us, and I'm going to share the graphic here once again. This Week in Baseball. Can you guys see the This Week in Baseball photo there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Twib, yep.
Twib, you know, and it had that great theme song. Did you guys sit down and watch Twib every single week?
It was,
absolutely.
It was TV.
And they highlight special players and talk about who was great and how they got there a little bit, and very cool.
Yeah.
And watching This Week in Baseball, you learned how to play pranks on your teammates. They did some amazingly funny stuff back then. I loved it.
You definitely always count on Keith Cissell for a little comic relief here. And, of course, the the show was hosted there by the great Mel Allen. How about that?
Ah, great.
Nice. Yep.
Do you guys
I
remember?
recognize his voice.
Oh my goodness, such a great voice. And then I guess I don't know if Mel had passed away or it had just gotten to a point where Warner Fusell came on and hosted the show, but they would still use a soundbite from Mel Allen throughout the show. Another show that was really important, I know at least for me, that I always watched, and I'm going to pull up the graphic of this here. Not that one. We just saw that one.
So anything you put up behind you will show up on my TV wall, Mike.
Awesome. Very cool. The this show, I'll pull this up for you in a moment. Do you guys watch The Baseball Bunch?
Classic.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
And, of course, Keith, do you remember who the host of that show was?
Oh, wasn't there, why am I thinking of the Reds catcher?
Yep,
Wasn't
you're
he?
right.
Why can't I think of his name? Oh.
We're
Johnny
number 5.
Bench?
Yes,
yeah.
Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench.
Yeah, great.
He was the host, and I can remember some episodes that Gary Carter was on it. They would have a player. So for those of you who don't know what the Baseball Bunch was, it was a weekly show hosted by Johnny Bench. And if I remember correctly, Bench was still playing, but it was very late in his career. And they may have even filmed the episodes during the off season. But it would be a weekly show about baseball. Johnny Bench was the host, and he would have a group of about 5 kids, and he would teach them different skills about baseball.
I think I remember not arguing with one of my coaches, but them teaching me how to take ground balls. And I'm like, well, you don't understand. Ozzie Smith came out in fog and he had a cape and he told me to do it like this. And he's like, dude, just catch the ball in the glove, relax. But I just love that show. That and Twib were great shows.
Absolutely. And you know, you mentioned Ozzie Smith, of course, named the Wizard. And on the Baseball Bunch, there was the Dugout Wizard. Do you remember that?
Ooh, that I don't remember.
The Dugout Wizard.
Do you remember that, Cardinal Cowboy?
I recall. If you showed me a clip of it, I'm pretty sure I would. When you say the word wizard, naturally you think Ozzie Smith.
Right. Now, I don't have a clip. However, let me show you this picture.
Oh, an image, yeah.
You guys recognize that mug?
Oh, Tony La Russa.
Yes, now I do remember that. That's awesome.
Yeah, Tommy Lasorda, the great longtime Dodgers manager, he played, and again, it was just a little segment within the show. They would do some type of special effect where he would be dressed up and he would talk about different things about baseball. So, Tommy Lasorda, the baseball wizard.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I do recall that, and back in the day, because they called Ozzie the Wizard, I was like, wait a minute, who's the Wizard? Is it Ozzie or is it Tony La Russa?
right. So, yeah, I just wanted to get you guys together. I know, again, growing up in the 1980s in St. Louis, it was a special time, and here we are at a point where, and totally understandable, understand why we, sports, and not only sports, concerts, any type of event. Keith and I work for a school district that's been shut down, as all school districts have been. So we totally understand why, but we definitely miss baseball and sports in general. And I thought it'd be fun to get together with a couple of guys who I knew, grew up in the 1980s in the St. Louis area. So it'd be fun just to reminisce about that for a little bit.